This is the Cannes Film Festival. We just had the big Cannes premiere of Solo, and we're on the beach now. The beautiful Cannes. I came here for my first film when I was 19. Yeah, it's really nice. It's nice to promote a film in such a beautiful place, and it's lovely to kind of get together again with the crew and the cast and everybody like that and bring the movie out. It's lovely. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's really fun, you know. He's a character that there's so much to do, and there's such humor and different facets to him. Yeah, the way I went about it was pretty much to watch all the original movies kind of very early on and try to absorb as much as I could of the world and of his performance and things like that, and then kind of forget about that, so that by the time you're doing the actual movie, you're just doing your part. Well, I think first of all, one thing about this movie is that even if it wasn't a Star Wars movie, it still is such a fun adventure tale. And I think the thing I mainly hope is just that people have a great time, that it's really fun, and that people, enjoy the ride. I mean, when I watched it tonight, I've seen it a few times now, and this was the first time I felt like I could really just enjoy the movie. And it's so fun, it's so exciting, it's such a great kind of adventure yarn, Well, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's very funny. I think you get to kind of watch, one of the great things about the movie is you get to watch, this guy sort of learn these lessons and slowly turn into the character we all know and love. And so that's just a very, very fun thing to watch.
It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. It's like the most beautiful people, just awesome food. Everything's really lively, and just everybody looks really great. Like everybody looks amazing. So it's actually like one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. It's really hard to put into words. Something that's bigger than you, and it's before you, and it's after you too. So it feels feels life-changing, to be honest. Like, and I know just how people treat me differently now. It's a very different thing. Very lighthearted. I think the new Star Wars tend to be heavier because they deal with heavier themes, and I think this is like at the end of the day it's a Star Wars like coming of age story. It's like just about a person learning to be a person, and I think we all like the characters already. Everybody knows that, so it's a lot more fun. It's sillier, it has some more fun jokes, but it's also just an action ride. Like tonight was the first night I could really, really watch it, and I loved it. Like I was like, 8-year-old me was like, this is great. So I'm very happy. I just hope they have a good summer movie, Like I remember being young and having nothing to do in the summer and then being like excited about 3 films or 2 films that are coming out. And I feel like this movie solidifies itself as one of those movies. It's like if I had an 8-year-old son, I would bring him to this, immediately. If I had an 8-year-old daughter, I feel like this movie's perfect for her. Like, I feel like it's a movie you can really enjoy with kids and enjoy it just as much. And I haven't seen movies like that in a while, so I appreciate it.
We are in Cannes at the beach by the Carlton Hotel, and we just witnessed the European premiere of Solo, a Star Wars story, and what a premiere it was. I think this movie is sort of people rightly shouldn't know too much about it, but it's an adventure story, and which flew down very well today with the audience. I thought that it's just like this movie is a popcorn film. It's got a lot of humor in it. It's got your old favorites, Han Solo and Chewbacca, how they met, how they became to know each other, and no one knows how that went down. So it was very exciting to see how people reacted to all of it, and it was a sizzling night for sure. I think, as I said, you're going to see how that special relationship began. And let me tell you, it wasn't the start, it wasn't that rosy, for sure. And because Han and Chewbacca, they're at a very much different point in their lives than what we've come to know. And we're going to see some of that old back and forth between those two, for sure. It's a dream of mine. It's an unvoiced dream. I could never have thought about inheriting this kind of opportunity and to step into the shoes that Peter Mayhew created with his performance of Chewbacca in the original trilogy. And I'm beyond joy, beyond proud to carry on the mantle and bring people each and every time they ask the Chewbacca that people know and love. I think the people who love Star Wars go in there and just they're going to be treated so well. And those who don't know Star Wars at all, they can still go see this film because it's an adventure film and it's full of fun, spontaneous trips to the unknown. And we're going to see that familiar galaxy or less familiar galaxy turned up in ways that we never expected.
We're at Cannes. First day of publicity here, international publicity for Solo, which comes out May 25th. But we just coming from our big premiere, our big international premiere, which was, it was thrilling. Great audience, applause, and all the things you'd hope for, and a great feeling of energy in the room. So we were, everybody's always a little trepidatious going into a screening here, but it played so well. Well, it's a relief because it's a very challenging movie made under difficult circumstances, but people, everybody involved just has so much belief in this story of young Han Solo, and were willing to give everything that they had. And so far, the reactions have been just great, and we hope people will come see it on the 25th. Well, I think that audiences, are sort of broadening their expectations of the range of relationships and cast members, and it's it's much more of a global brand now. Star Wars. The story is international. For that reason, it needs to represent the whole world a little bit more, while still staying true to the essence of what Star Wars is. But Star Wars was always that. This is I think maybe the first movie in a long time that you really you don't have to have seen the others in order to be able to totally lose yourself in this movie and appreciate it and not miss anything. It just happens. That happens to be because of the specific time when this story takes place. That said, if you are a fan, I hope you'll see a lot of respect for the fans, and without pandering, but a lot of respectful acknowledgement of their the details that they have a real grasp of. And so I hope it works for both, newcomers and the diehard fans. I think in many ways Han is the very most relatable, closest to an Earthling in the galaxy. He's the paradoxes. He's good, but he also sometimes makes the wrong choices. He wants to be heroic. Sometimes he's not as smart as he should be. And those flaws, along with his virtues, make him so appealing and so relatable to all of us humans here on Earth.
We are in a galaxy far, far away. We're in Cannes, and we've just had the European premiere. It's amazing. I'm obviously from Europe, and we had the premiere in LA. That was really exciting, and this was a big deal for me, coming kind of homeward bound, and just the fact that it's a film which appeals internationally is really it's wonderful, and it's a huge movie, and so much went into it, so much time, so much labor, so much love, and the fact that it is as good as it is, it really is. It's got so much heart and soul, this film. So it was worth it, and it's not often you can say that about a really massive movie. It really was worth it. Oh, I love it. My hotel's just over there. I get to party over here, and there's a great atmosphere celebrating film, and particularly for filmmakers, it's a really big deal. My hopes for it are also my beliefs that it will endure. Films come and go. They have a shelf life like anything else. But I feel like what's one of the wonderful things about being part of this, sort of royal lineage of movies is that people do come back to them again and again and again, just by, extension of the fact that part of the whole sequence of films. So that's really amazing that it will sort of cross generations and be enjoyed long into the future. That's cool.